Welcome back to Shapez, or Shapez as I like to call it. In this game we create a factory to process and create various shapes. This here is our main base. Our goal is to deliver the shapes to this very base. There are those clusters of shapes scattered around the map. Here we have some circles, and as you can see we're extracting those circles, cutting them, rotating them into various other shapes. These ones we're even painting red, and we've got some squares right here which we are painting blue. In the end we are cutting them and delivering them to the base. Right now we need these blue squares or parts of these blue squares to reach our goal and unlock color mixing. We also have these upgrades available. Right now we are able to increase the speed of cutting, rotating and stacking. For the next tier of this upgrade we're gonna need this weird little shape. This is basically a half of this star painted blue and top half of a circle painted green. There are many machines we're using here, those cutters which can cut shapes into half, those balancers which enable us to merge or split two lanes, and then those rotators which allow us to rotate a shape, and also those tunnels which help us dig under certain conveyor belts, so we can basically have crossings of conveyor belts, and those painters which paint shapes. I think now we could actually look into some more upgrades. We are getting some squares, we are getting this top right side of a circle as well. As you can see the numbers are increasing, those are basically our storage. But we're not getting any blue stars. So we could very simply do just that. Here is a place where we're getting our stars from, and we could simply paint some of them blue. To do that we're gonna need to extract blue paint, and then we need painters. There are actually those variants of the painter, which is basically the same thing just mirrored. And I think what we want is for the paint to come from the left side like this, and the shape, the star, to come from the top. So now as you see, the stars are coming into the painter, the paint is coming there as well, and we are outputting blue stars, which then get merged on this conveyor belt. The problem with the painters is that they are really slow, so we might actually need to have at least 4 of those to be somewhat efficient. We're gonna have one extractor for the stars, and we're actually going to split this into 4. So we should have one path here and one path here. Now as you can see we finally unlocked the mixer, thanks to which we can mix 2 colors. Next we're going to need those purple circles. We are going to get to those in just a little bit, but we're gonna finish those blue stars. Now we are going to need to have a clear output, and we are going to simply merge those together. Now we simply need to provide the paint for those painters. But for all of those painters. So we are again going to need some splitters here. And we are also going to need to use tunnels. And since the last painter is quite far and we can't really reach it like this, we are going to make 2 tunnels here, as such. Now this seems to be going just fine, and we simply need to deliver those to our base. Now we could just put a balancer here, but this would most likely clog up due to the amount of input. So we are indeed going to need 2 separate conveyor belts to deliver this to our base. So now as you see we have 4 separate painters, each supplied with its own line of paint and stars. Then those stars are delivered all the way to our base. Right now we can afford to buy another upgrade, which increases the speed of mixing and painting, which we are going to do just now. I see there's this weird little star-ish shape we need for the next tier of this upgrade. We don't need to worry about that just now. What we want is to increase the speed of our belts and tunnels, for which we need those purple circles. So how do we make purple circles? We need to combine blue and red to make purple. This map is really infinite. I would say the main thing is to conserve space and try to make the factory as compact as possible. But actually we've got sort of infinite amount of space here. So I think we should be good for now. And I think we are going to go over here, extract blue from here and deliver it here to red, and then take those or maybe those circles and deliver those to the base. So we are going to extract some blue, and then we are going to conveyor belt from here all the way to here where we have red paint. Let's place down 2 of those extractors, and we are going to need these paint mixers. The way this works is we got 2 input lines and 1 output line. So let's just, first of all, let's see whether this works or not. So that's red paint and blue paint, and we're getting purple. That's exactly what we need. We are going to place them like this because the paint is coming from the left side and the circles are coming from the top. Then here we should be able to output those purple circles, and we can actually deliver them to the base right now. So we're gonna conveyor all the way from there to our base like this. I think the paint mixing process is about as slow as the painting process itself. So we actually don't need those additional extractors. But what we could do is have another mixer and then another painter. Or maybe just another painter as it is. That should be enough actually. So we're going to add a splitter right here. Have a painter here. Then we need to split this paint. And we're gonna have to tunnel from here all the way to here. Then we obviously need the circles to get in there as well. And we're going to need a splitter or a balancer here as well. So now we have doubled our output of purple circles. We are slowly getting to our goal, and I think for now we shouldn't really touch this. We might see what else we can do. Oh, and I just realized this blue is the wrong shade of blue. We need this light blue, and I'm delivering this dark blue. Oh. So we have this blue, but we probably want this? No, that seems the same. How do I make that blue lighter? Do I mix it with yellow, probably? Or we don't have yellow, we have green. Or greenish. Oh right, I can see it right here. We need blue and green to make this light blue. Oh, I'm so dumb. Well, I'm not going to delete all this. We can simply keep it. Later we might need those blue stars. And now we can simply add to those a bit of this. So we're going to have one mixer only. We need one extractor on the blue paint, one extractor on the green paint, and that's light blue. Oh, what a waste of time that was. I can hijack this part and take some of those stars up here. Let's just see how it goes. Let's do a little bit of planning and see what we can actually do. So we need a conveyor here, and we're gonna go all the way down here. We are going to use a tunnel to get under these two conveyor belts and output right here. And we're going to have a painter like this. And here we need a splitter. So we're going to borrow part of those stars from here. And we are just going to go like this. And we're gonna have another splitter here. Because the painters are really slow, we could actually use an extra one. And we're gonna need another splitter for that paint. Now what we need here is another tunnel which goes to here. And the reason for it is we need to have some output here. Here we can have another balancer. And probably we can even join up with these stars here again. It shouldn't actually be clogging up because it's still the same amount of stars coming this way. And we've got fewer coming this way because this part is clogged up as the two painters are too slow. Now as you can see, we're already delivering those stars. Now this base only has 16 of those input ports, input cells. So what we could do is make our existing lines more efficient. As you can see, we're only delivering those quarters here, but we are using 4 input lanes. So what we might actually do is move this whole thing a little bit further back and merge those 4 lines into one, or simply remove some of them. I don't even know whether we're ever going to need these shapes again. Let's try to optimize this part. So here we have a conveyor of circles. We want to split those into 4 because we have 4 cutters. And I might actually even replace this bottom part as well. And I'm going to have one conveyor bringing those top quarters, one bringing the bottom quarters, one the lefts and right halves, and one bringing the whole circles probably. So let's do it. We are going to split this into 2 and then split this into 2 again. So right now we have 4 lines of circles here. Now what we want to do is cut these in half. And then we are going to merge those and simply output those halves up here. These we are going to want to cut in half as well, but then we want to actually rotate those. So each of those is going to get rotated, and then we want to cut each of those again. So we are going to have one cutter here and one cutter here. This is one cutter. Then we can simply merge those and output this. And we are going to have another cutter here. So we can simply again cut those, then merge those and output. So we have the top quarters, bottom quarters, left sides, right sides. Now let's see whether we can actually merge those together or whether these will just clog up. But they shouldn't really clog up because we've got one input lane from one extractor and one output line. Now I think I can actually delete at least this part just so we have some space. I'm actually gonna remove this all, and we are only going to use this bottom input port. Oh right, I was completely wrong. We've got one input line of circles, but these basically double the amount of circles. These double them and double them again. So for every, let's say for every 2 circles, we've got 2 coming out of here, 4 coming out of here. So for 2 circles, we actually get 6, right? But this here, this part here seems to be catching up. This might soon as well. And I don't really think we need that many of those shapes for now. So I think we actually can delete all this as well. Oh, I'm actually going to leave those circles coming here. What we are not producing is those top and bottom halves. So what we need here is to have another cutter, and then each of the halves gets rotated. So that's basically what we have here. So what we could do is from those rotators just split apart, but oh, as you can see, it has caught up quite efficiently. So we all seem to be good now. We're going to merge those 2 together. So we have only 1 line, and here we can merge those 2 again. And now I think, since we have so many cutters, the input is too slow for us, so we actually might even need another extractor. And we can simply combine those 2 here. So now double the speed of those, and here we basically make every shape from those circles that we can possibly want. And those all get delivered into our base. The problem is we might need some of those circles to be painted, which we are not doing as of now. But if we actually want them to be painted, we can simply have a splitter here, and half of them get painted, half of them remain like this. I actually think we really improved this part, this messy part, and we saved up 5 of those input slots. We're just about to complete this level. And we have unlocked an efficient balancer. A merger basically, which is a variant of the balancer. So all those balancers we have here, these for example, which are supposed to merge, we can simply remove those and have those more efficient balancers put in place. So here we need this variant. So we can use it just like this. But I don't really see what's so great about this, because we still need to use this block here, so we can just as well have the plain old one. Probably the nice thing is that here we need to have those 2 lanes, but for that balancer we can have 1 lane right here and the other coming from the top or the bottom. Now we got to the stage where we actually need those stars, and we've already got quite a few of them because we started delivering them those early. So what we can actually do is start preparing for those other shapes we are going to need soon after that. But I think that is probably a task for another time.